Okay, let's get right to it. It is Thursday, May 21st. This is your weather briefing brought to you by the team at Bring Me the News and NovakWeather.com. Novak Weather. I'm Tom Novak. Right, let's get right to it. We're going to talk basically, for the most part, about the weekend now, the Memorial Day weekend. We'll really focus on Saturday and Sunday because, quite frankly, there just isn't much happening in our atmosphere here today or into much of tomorrow. So kind of a stagnant weather pattern today and tomorrow. And then it gets kind of interesting this weekend and in the next week. First off, I just wanted to show you real quick here. This is the drought index map that was just released this morning. So this is hot off the press. And what I want you to focus on is what's happening up here in northern Minnesota. We have an increasing area of dryness, or at least what would probably be potential drought conditions here. It's abnormally dry right now. That's what the yellow means. But that area is increasing, and I'm a little worried that if they don't get rain up there over the northern half of Minnesota, that we're going to start getting into what's called a moderate drought or severe drought here sometime as we get into June, okay? And you can see it with these colors down here. So anyway, that's the area that I'm really focusing on, is up there in central and northern Minnesota, where they have not had rain in many, many days. In fact, it's been sunny and 70s and 80s and bone dry up there over the last 5 to 7 days. So they desperately need some rain up there. All right, here's the moisture channel loop now from the satellite in space. And here is that same old twisting low over the Tennessee River Valley, just sitting there. If you remember back on Tuesday, this is where it was located, and it was just sitting and spinning. Well, it hasn't moved. And it's been affecting the United States now since Friday and Saturday, and it's going to affect the United States even tomorrow. So this storm will have sat and spun for almost a week, if not even more, before it's all said and done. And what I really want you to focus on is look at this moisture depicted by the grays and the blue colors, retrograding back west towards the upper Midwest, and then we are getting more moisture coming up out of Oklahoma and Kansas, and all of that moisture is starting to stream north back into Minnesota again, and hence the reason why we have cloud cover over much of Minnesota this morning. In fact, take a look at the visible satellite loop. Here it is. This is low stratus clouds over southern and central Minnesota and western Wisconsin. It looks ominous. It looks like it could rain at any moment out there, but these clouds are harmless because there's no vertical development to them. They're just really low in the sky, and it just indicates that we do have moisture near the surface of the earth. But take a look at what's happening. We've got this area of stratus clouds that continue to pinwheel back west and retrograde back west into the upper Midwest, and then it's being drawn northward by another storm system that is located just west of us. We basically have a crunch going on right now right over Minnesota, and I think that these low clouds are going to stick with us for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. You can see some breaks in the clouds with these darker colors here on the satellite imagery, just a few breaks in the clouds, and yeah, we may see a peak or two of sunshine today and into tomorrow, but in general it's going to be cloudy, especially over the southern 2/3 of Minnesota, as moisture is plentiful in basically over the eastern half of the country. There's just a ton of moisture available for these storm systems. All right, here's the NAM computer model guidance now. We're going to start looking into the future here, especially as we get into the weekend. And here's the jet stream structure now from the NAM computer model guidance. This is the river of air, of course, at 30 to 35,000 feet. And you can see there really isn't much happening over eastern Minnesota and Wisconsin today and tomorrow. This is for tomorrow morning. But watch what happens as we get into Saturday morning. We get a little bit of a weak disturbance now coming out of Nebraska and into Iowa. That may provide just enough lift for some rain showers over the southern half of Minnesota and portions of western Wisconsin. Certainly not expecting an all-day rain, but yeah, you may get wet, so make sure your umbrella is handy as we get into Saturday morning. And then that little disturbance pulls off to the northeast, and then we focus on what's happening out west here. A fairly significant trough, or what we call a shortwave, developing in the Dakotas and over Montana. And watch what happens as we go into late Saturday night and Sunday. That trough pulls eastward into the plains states, and we start to get what we call a jet streak developing over South Dakota and North Dakota. So if everything comes together as how it potentially could come together, this area here over Nebraska, Iowa, and southern Minnesota will be a prime area for shower and thunderstorm development, especially later in the day, Sunday. That may even last into Memorial Day, which of course is Monday. So we'll have to pay close attention to that. Now, as we zoom into the upper Midwest, and here's the Twin Cities metro, by the way, and we look at the temperatures in the lower layers of our atmosphere, look at what happens as we go through time. Our lower layers of our atmosphere are actually kind of cool, at least right now, today and into tomorrow. But as we get into this weekend, especially Saturday, which is this view, Saturday night, and into Sunday, we really warm up in the lower layers of our atmosphere. Okay, that means a couple of things. Number one, that's likely going to add more energy to our atmosphere, especially on Sunday. And number two, we're likely going to get pretty warm on Sunday over southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. I wouldn't be surprised if temperatures rise well in to the upper 70s and low 80s by that time. In fact, looking ahead to Sunday, and we look at the surface temperatures, look at what it has for the Twin Cities metro. Mid 80s on Sunday in the Twin Cities metro, if you believe the NAM computer model guidance, and I do, because most guidances are showing a pretty warm day for Sunday. So that's a day to really take a look at and watch out for if you're looking for active weather. By the way, this is the jet stream weather pattern now for Monday from the European computer model guidance. And look at, here's that jet streak again over northern Minnesota, about a 100-knot jet streak. That would put us here in southern Minnesota, Iowa, and much of Wisconsin in a prime area, what we call the right front quad of a jet streak, or right rear quad of a jet streak. And that's another nice area to be in if you're looking for active weather. So we may have to hold on to shower and thunderstorm activity into Monday, and if this jet streak is strong enough and if we get enough of a temperature contrast, we could be talking about some severe weather. So those are things to look forward to as we get into this weekend. Again, I think it's going to be pretty warm, especially Sunday. So those of you that have been looking forward to sweating, I think Sunday is definitely your day to sweat. We may even get near 80 degrees on Saturday too, but a lot of our warmth is going to be dependent upon cloud cover. So just stay tuned. We'll try to keep you informed. If there's some severe weather that looks ominous for Sunday, we'll try to break in and give you guys an update on that. Take care, everyone, and have a great, great Memorial weekend.